Cal last week went on the road and snapped a 4-game losing skid, but now they got to go do it again, this time in Eugene at Autzen Stadium. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you on the College Football Preview Show presented by Tyson Anytizers, the number 6th ranked Golden Bears at Oregon. Let's bring in CBS Sports' Spencer Tillman to break this down. And Spence, with the way that USC lost last week, another year where they lose to an unranked team, and the fact that both Cal and Oregon get the Trojans at home, do you see the winner of this game on Saturday being the favorite in the Pac-10?
Yeah, for the time being, no question about it, they will emerge. And I think the stronger of those two will be Cal. And again, not to get ahead of ourselves as far as predictions are concerned, but don't dismiss USC. Because again, they've won the Pac-10 for 7 straight consecutive years, and each one of those times they lost the road game. They've lost that road game already to Washington. So I suspect them to recover, get their quarterback situation cleared up, to make that a 3-way team race between Cal, Oregon, and USC. So it's going to get interesting yet.
Spence, one of the things that I spoke with Jeff Tedford earlier this week, and one of the things he said was how crucial it was for his team to go on the road and win at Minnesota and show that, look, they could go on the road and win a game. They wouldn't have done it without Jahvid Best. Have you seen a running back like that since Adrian Peterson?
No, he's very talented. As a matter of fact, he reminds me of Adrian Peterson in terms of his style. Now, he's not nearly as big. He's not looking for contact like AD was. But in terms of, if you watch him last week, he had 5 touchdowns. One of the runs when he strutted into the end zone, I'm thinking to myself, that's a mini-me, Adrian Peterson. And he was an unbelievable athlete. He's got tremendous speed, breakaway speed, game-changing speed. But he's got to be able to duplicate that week in and week out, because health has always been an issue for him, injuries. If he can stay healthy, I've already slotted him in that 3rd spot as far as the Heisman is concerned, replacing Sam Bradford. I really like this kid, Jahvid Best.
Now, some people may slot him into that 1 spot, depending on what Tebow and McCoy continue to do. But on the other side for Oregon, the headlines this season, at least the early part, was with its running back, LeGarrette Blount, being suspended. Since then, they've bounced back with the wins against Purdue and at home against Utah. Do you think they are fully recovered from that incident early on in that loss to Boise State?
No, they're not fully recovered, and the numbers suggest that. Their run production, of course, is down 50% than it was a year ago. And then, of course, after the LeBlanc incident, it went down significantly. But they've got a couple of young runners that are showing up and getting them some yardage. But, again, their passing numbers are down. Masoli's not who he was a year ago. They've got all kind of problems on the offensive side of the ball. And Chip Kelly gets a little bit chippy when you bring that up to him. But you know what? The bottom line is they've got to get it corrected. Their defense has been keeping them in games late with forcing turnovers and things of that nature late in the game. But I'm not impressed, because at home, you're not supposed to let a Purdue team that's starting from scratch all over again, just now integrating a fullback into their system, you're not supposed to let them hang around as long as they did. So I'm not totally sold on the notion of them being back 100%.
And a Purdue team that last week lost at home to Northern Illinois. And you mentioned the Oregon defense. They scored 2 touchdowns in that Purdue game. That's the reason they beat the Boilermakers. But they also got to stop turning the ball over themselves, Spence, because 8 turnovers this season for Oregon. You can't beat Cal turning the ball over at nearly 3 a game.
Well, I don't care who you are. A good high school team can come out and remain competitive with a team if you're turning the ball over as much as Oregon has been turning the ball over, particularly when your offensive weapons aren't there. I mean, again, they're down over 50. To be honest with you, it's around 62% total when you combine the passing and rushing numbers offensively than they were a year ago at this time. And they've got to get that corrected, because, again, talent comes, talent goes. Players make poor decisions. You get bounced for the year. But one of the things you can control are the amount of turnovers, because that's a discipline issue. You can coach that, and the players can protect themselves as well.
All right, one note to mention for this game, Nyan Boateng, last year's leading receiver, or at least returning receiver for Cal, will not play. He's out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken bone. So Kevin Riley's main receiver this year, other than Jahvid Best, is not going to be in this game. Spence, who do you like to win? And I know you said you like Cal as the stronger team, but they are on the road at Autzen Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to make it a lot tougher. That nugget you just gave is going to be important, because without that impact receiver out there, Jahvid Best has more bodies concerned about him as opposed to Boateng out there. So I think that it's going to be close, but I'm going to give it with Cal, because I want my guy to win the Heisman Trophy. You can't do it if they lose.
Of course you do. You're a fellow running back. You have to get him to win the Heisman Trophy. Spencer T, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Jason, we'll see you, buddy.
All right, folks, Cal has won 4 out of the last 5 in this series, including the last game at Autzen Stadium, 31-24 back in 2007. For more on this game, stay right here with CBSSports.com. That'll do it for the College Football Preview Show, presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty good man snack. For Spencer T, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.